Heyo.
Oh my gosh.
Welcome to the Fantasy Chairmen podcast on a smooth, sultry Sunday evening.
What are you doing?
We're back.
This is highly unusual. You're going to make people turn this off. They're not going to know what podcast this is.
Come on.
You're going to freak people out.
I'm drawing them in. They're like, what am I on, like, Sunday evening talk radio? We're going to listen to some jazz here soon. And I don't know, getting you all prepared to chill out, sit by a fire.
You're trying to talk nice and easy to people because the draft already happened. Their head could still be spinning.
Oh, man.
Well, the draft happened, a couple weeks ago now, so we're a little late to the game.
We're a little late to the game.
That's okay, though.
Busy people. Busy people. But the Fantasy Chairmen are back.
Worky work, busy bee.
We're here to talk draft. And I am Ben.
And I'm Alex.
And we've got...
Chance McGuire.
Oh.
All right. We got Chance back with us. Still over the phone, but hopefully soon in studio, in person, coming at you. Not quite live, but almost live.
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah.
Something like
right
that.
Right around in that area. Yeah. Something like that.
But we're back. The draft happened. And boy, did it...
Boy, howdy.
Did it overwhelm in some instances and underwhelm in others and put some people through a spin in what's going to be happening in the upcoming NFL season. We're just coming to you few and far between right now because of scheduling and all that fun stuff, but now we're here. So we're going to talk a little draft recap, go through, I don't know, the first couple of rounds, highlight the major offensive players that got taken and move our way through there, and then we'll go through and just kind of talk about how we're feeling about certain guys being drafted to other, certain situations and what the impact may be on players already established on those teams.
Yeah, just kind of go through and see if what our thoughts are for landing spots and see if these rookies are going to be impact rookies right off the bat, or maybe they'll take a season or two.
That's right. Maybe give some dynasty advice or trades on, if there's people you need to buy low on or try to move, something like that. While we go through the recap, just if something comes to you,
okay,
and you need to let the people know.
I was going to say, for such a short episode, we're going to have to. There's a lot jam packed into it.
I'm just telling you guys, if it pops up in your mind and you're like, ooh, this is something that I would try to do, you let the people know.
Let them know.
Let the people know. Mostly so I can get in on what you're thinking in our dynasty league.
Oh, so then okay.
Because you two, champ and not quite champ, need to be taken down.
Champ and not quite champ. I like that.
You're going to have to remind me every episode now.
I like that.
I don't know.
For a little while.
Probably for a little while.
That's just how it's going to be.
Sorry, Chance. I'm mainly trying to remind myself to motivate me to come up and take you both down.
Well,
we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. Good luck to you, sir. Anyways, let's get into this.
That's right. Here we go. Starting with round one, the first overall pick to everybody's major surprise. Jacksonville Jaguars take quarterback Trevor Lawrence out of Clemson. And Trevor Lawrence now a Jacksonville Jaguar. I mean,
this is known at the end of the NFL season. We knew exactly what was going to happen.
I don't know. Chance had some bold takes on who the Jaguars were going to take, I think, but maybe not.
Oh, did I? I don't remember this conversation, Ben.
No, Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence going to the Jaguars, probably going to raise the caliber of everybody on that team, I would say. The established receivers there. And
I would say so, yeah. I mean, you would think it's nothing but good things for guys like LaVisca and Chark and Marvin Jones got signed there too. So
Yes, he did.
He'd be a good, savvy little veteran for Trevor Lawrence to rely on as well.
Absolutely.
Oh,
And why don't we take turns going through the picks here? So go ahead and give us the next one, Alex. Give us the one that popped out here.
wait, the one that pops out, or we're just
we're going through offensive players.
Okay, all right. Well, the very next pick here at the 102, the New York Jets took Zach Wilson, which has kind of been known for just about as long as Trevor Lawrence to the Jaguars has been known, which kind of surprised a lot of people. But the Jets, they honed in on Wilson, and they knew that was the guy that they wanted, and they took him. I don't even know if they went and looked at like Trey Lance or Mac Jones's pro days or even Justin Fields' pro days at all. I think they knew Zach Wilson was their guy
From the get-go. I would agree with that.
And you know what? I'm not. I mean, I don't know. Zach Wilson. I don't know if I would have taken Zach Wilson at number 2. I probably would have looked at Lance or Fields personally, but I think Zach Wilson, he's going to be good for the Jets organization and for the wide receivers and the new running backs there as well. And the biggest winner is the whole organization, because there is now no number 2 there anymore. He is gone.
Nope. Sam Darnold.
He's been flushed.
Sam Darnold moved on to Carolina. So, I don't know. Chance, you think Zach Wilson is just the next Sam Darnold?
I hope not. For the Jets' sake, I hope not.
He can't be, because now there's no more number 2. He's gone.
Oh, you mean...
Yes, he got flushed down the toilet. He's gone.
You're talking about the Dementor.
Yes, the fantasy Dementor himself. The soul-sucking Dementor.
There's, that fantasy Dementor. He's out of there. Adam Gase is gone.
Organization wrecker.
Good grief. All right, Chance. Pick number 3. What are we thinking? What do we see?
All right, pick 3. The 49ers selected Trey Lance. So, no one really knew what the 49ers were going to do with this pick. I think the Niners wanted that. Trey Lance, I kind of like it because there's still question marks about his NFL readiness right now, and they still have Jimmy G for now, I guess. But I think Trey Lance sits behind Jimmy G for a while unless Jimmy doesn't live up to what he's being paid. So Trey Lance sake, though, I think it's a good spot for him to go, just be behind a quarterback and Kyle Shanahan's offense. And when he's good and ready, I think he'll be a good ball player, but I think he still has a year.
Oh, yeah.
At least to sit on the bench. So,
did anyone here buy that the 49ers traded to move up?
Oh, goodness. Whoa. What is going on?
All right.
Sorry, this new key map. I'm getting used to it here.
Did anyone else, as I was saying before I was rudely interrupted, did anyone else buy that the 49ers traded all that capital to move up and get back Jones? Because that was the talk for the longest time.
No, that was smoke from the get-go. I think most everybody probably knew that. They were just trying to get other teams to buy into it. So, yeah.
That's kind of what I thought, too.
I don't know. I never bought into that. But Trey Lance was a good pick there. Over-under on Jimmy Garoppolo starting for 3 games and then Trey Lance coming in. What do we think?
Ooh.
You think
I don't think Trey
games?
Lance. I think Jimmy G at least makes it half the season.
Oh, okay.
Half the season.
Chance is taking the over on 3 games. Okay.
I'm trying to see here.
I think I'd go with you too, Chance. Let
me look it up here.
I would take the over on that.
3 games?
Yeah, I just threw out a random 3 games.
Hang on a minute. Let me look at something here. I'm trying to see
when their bye is.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I figured.
Let me look it up here. Okay, they got Kansas City week 1. Oh, wait, this is preseason. Regular season, week 1 is Detroit. Week 2, Philadelphia. Week 3, Green Bay. 4, Seattle. 5 is Arizona. Week 6, bye. I think week 6 they switch to Trey Lance.
Yeah. I was actually going to say 6 weeks.
Week 7, Trey Lance will get his first NFL start. That's my bet.
That's kind of what I'm going with as well. Maybe we see the switch at the bye week.
Yeah, that's pretty typical too. Unless some team has a bye week that's way late into the season. If these high draft capital quarterbacks don't start right off the bat, usually it's a couple weeks. They catch an early bye week and then use that bye week to transition them. So we've been noticing that more and more often.
Right on. Yep. Okay, with the 4th pick of the NFL draft, the Atlanta Falcons took the most valuable asset in fantasy right now, according to some.
Oh.
At least by the talk that's out there.
Yeah.
If you're on Twitter and see all that stuff. Kyle Pitts, tight end out of Florida, one of the most highly rated, or the most highly rated tight end ever coming out of college. Didn't have the NFL Combine, but coming through the pro day and everything like that, he came into the NFL rated higher than the likes of Travis Kelce and Rob Gronkowski and all those guys. So Kyle Pitts going to the Atlanta Falcons, and I really like the landing spot, Chance. I like it a lot.
I agree with you there. He's a big, fast tight end. He's going to be heavily used.
Yeah. You think he gets rolling from the get-go? Do we see some rookie tight end fantasy records get broken here?
Man, I tell you what, if there's one
someone's
person...
going to do it, it has to be him.
Yeah, if there's somebody that has the best chance to do it, it's probably him.
And there's all this talk, all these rumors swirling about Julio Jones potentially getting traded, and it seems like that's kind of starting to heat up a little bit. So if Julio's gone, I
think Kyle Pitts just takes Julio's spot. Why wouldn't he?
Kyle Pitts just skyrockets up a little further, right?
A little bit, yeah.
Oh,
just
yeah.
A little bit.
Oh, yeah.
A little more. And Calvin Ridley, he's got to go up as well, I would imagine.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, Kyle Pitts, we're seeing him drafted typically up in the top 4 picks of dynasty rookie drafts right now, and probably for good reason, I would say. There is the history of rookie tight ends not producing, but long-term asset, the way everybody's talking about him, he's going to be just the best thing to hit the tight end spot of all time.
They usually take a little while to develop, but Kyle Pitts is something different. He is, I don't know. And especially if Julio goes, if they just slot him into his spot, that'll be very interesting, to say the least.
Like it a lot. Man, we've got some fantasy impacts through the first 6 picks here. What happened at 5?
Pick 5, the Cincinnati Bengals kind of surprised everybody. There were rumors about it happening, but I don't know if everyone believed it. But the Cincinnati Bengals take Jamar Chase out of LSU, the wide receiver there, and reunite him with his old friend and confidant Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow and
Joey
Jamar Chase reunited, and it feels so good.
Yeah. But, man, the Bengals just loading up on offensive firepower now. Their wide receiving core, their specialty positions right now are just loaded. You got Burrow at QB. Your top 3 wide receivers now are going to be Chase, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, and then you got Joe Mixon in the backfield. That's a pretty star-studded backfield. And it's a lot of people were thinking that Penei Sewell would have gone there to help protect Joe Burrow, but I don't know. You'd have to think that Burrow went into the front office and got in the ears of those guys and said, "Get me Jamar."
Oh, he was talking to him.
Because
even my boy Jamar.
Yeah, go get my boy Jamar, and I'll keep myself up on my feet. So, Penei Sewell, that guy's a stud. We watched him a lot watching Oregon games, and it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to pass up on him unless you are fully committed and they got to believe in Joe Burrow. They got to keep him happy.
Well, they're doing what the pack does not do for Aaron Rodgers.
That's true. Very true.
Already.
Very true.
Goodness gracious. And at pick number 6, Chance.
Pick number 6, Dolphins take Jalen Waddle. So another little reunion there for Tua and Waddle. You got Will Fuller, Devontae Parker on the outside. He'll be in the slot spot. He's fast. He's shifty. And he already has a rapport with Tua. So I think Tua's stock goes up. Waddle, he's going to be looking at Waddle a lot. He's fast and he's going to get open. So I think he'll have fantasy relevance this year for sure.
A lot of Tyreek Hill comparisons to Jalen Waddle coming out.
We have some of those every year, but I will say that Waddle's he's probably the best chance at actually being a Tyreek Hill there is. So, but I was surprised. I thought they definitely would have gone Devonte Smith right here. So, and maybe move on from Devontae Parker, but no, Jalen Waddle.
Nope, gonna keep all those weapons around there.
Guess so.
And speaking of Penei Sewell, he went at the next pick, number 7, to the Detroit Lions there. And then we're going to jump down with the 8th and 9th pick were defensive players that were selected, J.C. Horn and Pat Surtain. And at the 10th pick of the NFL draft, the Philadelphia Eagles traded up. And they traded up with Dallas to get up to this pick here, jumping ahead of the Giants, wasn't it?
The Giants were right there where the Bears were.
That's right.
And yeah, they wanted this guy, and they were not too happy when he got taken.
Yeah, and they selected wide receiver out of Alabama, Devonte Smith, Heisman Trophy winner, first wide receiver to do that since like the 70s or something like that.
Yeah,
it was a long time ago. So Devonte Smith, the Slim Reaper, they call him.
Yeah, all
running out there Skeletor-like.
All 165 pounds of him, 6 foot, 165 pounds of him.
Chance, that's like me getting out there on the football field. But
pretty much.
But you could take a few more pounds off of that. Definitely don't have the hand speed or route running capability that Devonte Smith does, but with him, being out in the NFL, it gives me some hope, Chance.
Hey, at least you're the same size of NFL player, so there you go. That's
right.
Not a kicker.
Look at that. There's hope out there, people. There's hope. Devonte Smith immediately plugs in as the number 1 option in Philadelphia. Is that anybody have any other takes on that?
No, he's going to get peppered with targets right off the bat. I mean, there's nobody else competing with him for the number 1 spot. So,
yep, and Ann agrees. And the Hound Dog chiming in. And Chance, how do you feel about Jalen Hurts being the one throwing Devonte Smith the ball there? Are you a Hurts believer?
He stays healthy. I think he'll be decent. I think Devonte Smith's going to get his looks. So no matter how Hurts does, Smith is going to put up points somehow. So.
Well, it hurts so good.
Oh my gosh.
Huh?
Will it hurts so good?
Hurts so good?
Yeah.
No.
Hurts
so bad.
Yeah, I'm not on the Hurts train.
I'm coming at you with the hard-hitting questions.
Yes, make you think.
Yes.
I'm not on the Hurts train. I think he'll do decent. I think that's about it for him, though. That's if he stays healthy.
Devonte Smith. I'm a believer in the Slim Reaper and hope that Jalen Hurts can be the guy that people want him to be. And if that's the case, Devonte Smith will be at least a wide receiver 2, I think. At least a solid wide receiver 2.
At least, mid to late wide receiver 2 just on volume alone.
I can't picture wide receiver 1 production coming this year unless Hurts just plays really well. But But I could see wide receiver 2 potential this year.
What if Deshaun Watson lands there?
Well, we'll see. As long as he gets to play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just thought I'd throw that curveball there for you.
There's that.
There's that too. So, all right, next pick. Is it me?
That is you, sir.
Next pick, the
you.
Chicago Bears traded up and they select Justin Fields at the 11th overall pick, Ohio State quarterback. And you know what? I think the Bears, they made the right move for once.
They
and
did.
They made a trade
They
and picked up a
absolutely
guy
did.
that probably should have gone at the 102. So
Chicago rejoiced.
they did. And Matt Nagy, this is it, dude. If you don't get it looking good after this season, I think he's Dundee. So, Justin Fields, I think he'll probably, just like all the other quarterbacks except Zach Wilson and Trevor Lawrence, he'll probably sit for the first few games. And then they got Andy. They didn't trade for him. They signed for Andy Dalton, right?
Yeah, they signed Andy Dalton.
Yeah. So they'll probably have Andy Dalton start off the season, kind of mentor Fields a little bit, and then when's the Bears bye week? Anybody know?
Let's just go ahead and predict that all the rookie quarterbacks are going to be starting, other than Zach Wilson and
Hang on a
Trevor
minute.
Lawrence.
I'll find it for you here. Just 1 minute.
We'll go ahead and predict that all the rookie quarterbacks will just be starting at the bye week.
Just 1 minute here.
I know one of the teams that took a QB has a pretty late bye week, and that may be the Patriots, but
Week 10 bye week for the
ooh,
Bears.
that one's it might depend on what their record's looking like. You know, if they're sliding early on, 4 games in a row. I mean,
I was going to say that 4-game marker is probably where, like, if they go 0-4 or 1-3, you're going to start hearing chants for Fields in the stands, and then usually at that point you get one more game. And if you don't make it happen, you switch it.
yeah. Chance, if you're Matt Nagy, when are you starting Fields?
I'd have to agree with Alex on this one. So you start seeing a slump, you have to put him in.
And if Andy Dalton just
For
keeps
Nagy,
winning games.
If he doesn't put him in, he loses his job for sure.
So if Andy Dalton wins 10 games in a row and he doesn't put him in, is he getting fired?
I say if he slumps.
If he slumps.
The Bears
okay.
slump. If they're not winning games, like you were saying, if they go 0-4, 1-3, that
okay.
Fields it's going to be put in.
Do we see a Ryan Fitzmagic to Tua sort of switch where Fitzmagic was winning games, but then at the bye week they
just
put in
said
Tua anyway.
Tua's the future.
And they said that was the plan all along.
Yeah. I mean,
Could happen.
Yeah.
I mean,
If they hadn't have done it like that, they wouldn't have gotten Jalen Waddle.
so Allen Robinson, we can be really happy for that man. He finally has a quarterback, or what we assume will be a good quarterback.
At some point he will.
He's finally got
point.
one. He's on the franchise tag there. He hasn't signed a long-term deal yet, I don't believe. Mm-hmm. See how this year plays out. He's probably chomping at the bit for Justin Fields to get in the game, I'm sure.
You can probably bet if they lose the first couple or few games, he'll be saying, put Justin Fields in.
And not for personal reasons or anything, but Darnell Mooney, dynasty fantasy stock.
Yeah.
Does that just go way up now? I mean,
nobody cares, Ben. Nobody cares.
Darnell Mooney. Let's go.
Nobody cares.
Darnell Mooney to the moon.
Oh my gosh. All right. Moving on. Next pick. Next specialty position.
We're going down to the 15th pick here, Chance. We had linebacker, tackle, guard taken between these. So 15th pick.
15th pick. The Patriots take Mac Jones.
Oh, he was supposed
Alabama.
He's supposed to go 103.
So the 49ers.
I like this pick for the Patriots. He seems to be an accurate passer, confident in the pocket, not much of a runner, but Patriots and AQB. Cam Newton wasn't really doing much for him last year, but he'll probably start the first few games this year. Then I think it's going to turn into a Mac Jones show. Mm-hmm. And hopefully it's not like every other Alabama quarterback in the NFL, and he actually produces in the NFL.
There's a lot of talk on when we might see the Cam Newton to Mac Jones switch, simply because the offensive system needs to be completely different for these two quarterbacks.
When's the bye week? Just kidding.
I think they might have a late bye week, but
I think they're like week 14 or something.
Oof, that's way too long to wait.
Yeah, it's like a week 14 vibes. But do you think they cater the offense more towards Mac Jones with a little bit of Cam Newton sort of style built in, or vice versa? Do they cater more towards Cam, build in a little Mac Jones, and try to build from there if they make the switch at some point?
I think it would make more sense to build it, the foundation with Mac Jones being your future, and then, sprinkle in the spaces Cam Newton plays, quarterback draw, quarterback, keeper, and stuff like that. So when the time comes, all you got to do is say, okay, take out that specialty play, that one right there, and then we'll put in some more. There's a crosser route, there's a slant route, there's a double move route, right there. So, but yeah, I mean, obviously two completely kind of different players, but I think it would make sense to cater it more towards your future Mac Jones than it would be Cam Newton.
I mean, that makes sense to me.
I think the Patriots need to go to a Saints offense and just turn Cam Newton into a Taysom Hill.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure Cam's going to love that.
It's Mac Jones is a between the fives quarterback, and then when they get to within the five, they put in that 4 tight end tank package with Cam Newton and who's we probably won't get down to them in this episode talking about the draft, but who's the rookie running back that they took? I'm blanking on his name right now. Stevens, I think. Was it Stevens?
Oh, yeah. I know who you're talking about. He's like 230 something, 240 something, and just let him be your lead blocker.
They're calling him LeGarrette Blunt 2.0, and I don't know.
Ramondre Stevenson.
Yeah, thank you, Ramondre Stevenson. Yeah.
Yes.
You get that tank package at the 5-yard line with 4 tight ends out there. Cam Newton and Ramondre Stevenson.
There you go.
You just shove the defense back.
Push people.
That's what it's going to be. I'm calling it right now. That's the offense.
I don't know if Cam's going to be up for that. That's just, he's said it before. I'm not going to be a backup. So
well, that's what he says, but he's also getting paid for the year. So
that's true.
Who knows? Moving on down, we had a linebacker, tackle, defensive end, and another linebacker taken. And at pick 20, where the Giants traded back to with the Bears, they selected wide receiver out of Florida, Kadarius Toney. And this was kind of a head-scratching pick. Everybody was surprised that they actually traded back for once.
And the thing is, everyone let Dave Gettleman know about it on social media, and he said, you know what?
He's like, I'll prove it to you.
You think I can't do it? Watch this.
I will trade back. And then they selected Kadarius Toney, and everybody was like, what are you doing? Why would you do that when the likes of Rondale Moore are still on the board, and guys like that, Rashad Bateman? And they take Kadarius Toney, who, he's flashed there at Florida. And, I mean, there are people that like him, but the fit there with Sterling Shepard and Darius Slayton and Evan Ingram.
Kenny
Galladay now, all just there at New York. It's just kind of like, okay, well, where Kadarius Toney kind of shines is kind of in those areas where Evan Ingram and Kenny Galladay and Sterling Shepard sort of shine as well. So it's head scratching. He is a first round pick.
15th overall pick, man.
You took him in our dynasty league rookie draft.
I did
over a couple other people. Just
what was it, third round or
second round?
Second round.
It was in the second. I was like the 204, 205.
Did I take him that early?
Yeah, it was around there.
Oh, okay.
But,
anyways, now you got me Thinking, did I really take him that early?
Yeah.
Anyway, Kadarius Toney, he's an explosive. He's explosive playmaker, much like a kind of like a Percy Harvin style player. You get the ball in his hands early, and he can take it to the house at any point. So, very shifty player. Apparently, the Jaguars were looking at him a little bit later, looking for kind of a big time explosive playmaking wide receiver. So. I think with this draft pick here, man, it does not spell good news for Sterling Shepard. Darius Slayton can kind of play on the outside, so he might still be okay opposite of Kenny Golladay, and then maybe Toney kind of roams around in the slot. But Sterling Shepard, even Evan Ingram, Ingram being a tight end, he'll still be all right in the tight end spot, but it doesn't look good for Sterling Shepard.
Yep, agreed there. Does Daniel Jones stock, he's gained some weapons this season, or this offseason. Are you putting some dynasty value on Daniel Jones, or are you, is this prove it year? We got to see what you do.
Yeah, this is definitely a prove it year for him with all the weapons he has now. I mean, there's no reason he shouldn't succeed. So it's a prove it year for Jones.
Chance, your quarterback situation in our dynasty league is not fantastic.
No.
Are you going out there? Are you taking the gamble on trying to trade for the likes of Daniel Jones in case he does prove it this year?
I am not giving up too much for Daniel Jones, to be honest. I am not going to go out of my way
Have little
to get
faith.
Daniel Jones.
A 2022 second round pick for Daniel Jones.
Whoa.
I do that.
Super flex league.
I do that.
One QB league. 2022 second round pick for Daniel Jones.
I do not do that.
No, not a 1 QB. No.
Okay. All right, fair enough.
Clarification: I took Kadarius Toney at 302.
Oh, it was the third round.
I took Amon-Ra St. Brown in the second.
Oh, that's who it was. Okay, I flipped those two then, I think. Okay, because, I remember I had my eye on Amon-Ra St. Brown, and I was just like, oh, just let him keep falling there a little bit. He didn't. But that was all right. I remember that now. And then I think I had my eye on Kadarius Toney in the third round, and you snaked him, but that's okay. That's okay. All right, moving on down. We had a defensive end, a corner, and a tackle taken, and then at the 24th pick, another skill position player.
Big pick right here. Big time pick. The Pittsburgh Steelers take Najee Harris.
Oh, yeah.
And let me tell you what, Najee Harris, the guy is going to be walking into all he can eat. I'll tell you that much. I've heard a lot of people compare him to a young Le'Veon Bell, and I think that's exactly what the Steelers are hoping that they just got in him. But right off the bat, I think Najee, he could push for 250-plus touches easy right off the bat, I think. So I think he's running back 2 from day one, not the running back 2, but a running back 2 with the possibility of creeping into that running back 1 territory.
Oof. Bold words, but you're not wrong.
Thank you.
Nope.
Thank you.
They did sign Kalen Ballage in the offseason. The Bellagio is there, so...
I forgot about him.
So
My analysis still stands.
So Kalen Ballage has no value.
My analysis stands pat.
Fair enough. Najee Harris to the Pittsburgh Steelers. At the next pick, the 25th pick, their chance. Kind of a surprising move here.
Yeah, a little bit surprising, but Jacksonville Jaguars, they got Travis Etienne.
Etienne.
And
Etienne.
Yeah, I get that wrong all the time.
We're here for you. We're here.
I know you and I, Ben, have talked about this. You're thinking he'll just take over the running back spot, but the Jaguars said they're using him as a receiver now, or work him in as a receiver. So I think they're kind of preparing him to be in and out of the backfield. I think he's going to be lining up as receiver. He'll be lining up in the backfield, but he's a big play guy, so they're expecting as soon as the ball gets in the hands, just let him do his thing. And He's kind of a home run hitter, so he'll be definitely a third down back for sure. And I think he's getting used all over the field.
I just can't buy the fact that the coach is saying he's going to be just the third down guy, spending first round draft capital on a guy like that, and he's just gonna be a third down back for you. That's it. I can't buy it.
No. I think they run almost like a 2 running back system, and they'll move him out of the backfield into a receiver spot. I think he's going to be playing a lot more than just third down, but he might not be in the backfield all the time.
It's just Urban Meyer being his same silly old self. You know, he's said a lot of things that never came true before in the past. So it's just Urban being Urban.
Urban. Well, one thing's for certain, James Robinson fantasy stock certainly took a hit with that selection.
A fantasy post-draft loser.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Undrafted rookie free agent. Did awesome. Tore it up. But if we've seen anything, I mean, look at Phillip Lindsay, 2 back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons and still no real allegiance there. As much as Denver loved him and all that, and he moved on from him in 3 seasons.
Yep.
Signed Melvin Gordon in his 3rd season, and
you got to do ridiculous things. You got to be Arian Foster-esque. You got to be Austin Eckler-esque.
Right.
You have to be doing stuff like that to keep. And
you've got to maintain. And this new coaching regime has no ties to James Robinson at all. So.
Nope. And
unfortunately,
let me tell you what, if your position gets taken in the first round of the NFL draft, that usually doesn't spell good news for you.
No, definitely not.
So yeah,
I will say I am happy I traded off James Robinson.
Yeah,
for Matt Stafford.
I bet you are.
That was a slick trade, my friend.
Yep, that was. I applauded that trade at the time. I remember that. And I did kind of applaud you for it. And I was like, well, because I didn't expect that James Robinson would survive the draft. Unfortunately, it was just a matter of when and where a running back was going to be taken by the Jaguars. And that was about worst case scenario. Yeah. The running back reunited with Trevor Lawrence also. So it's his guy.
Rest in peace.
So again, here's another example of an organization listening to their franchise quarterback, giving them what they would like to have. Green Bay, pay attention, but also don't pay attention so that Aaron Rodgers can go to Denver.
I don't know how much Trevor Lawrence was in the ear of the coaching staff and the Jaguars brass. I think it was more Urban Meyer wanted Travis Etienne. Because he even came out after the postgame saying that he was disappointed that Kadarius Toney wasn't there, and that once he was taken by the Giants, that they then resorted to taking ETN. So, which is a little nerve-wracking for my Laviska Shenault shares, because I don't know why the heck you'd want Kadarius Toney when you got a freaking Laviska, but we'll see.
It's a fair point. At the next pick, we had a cornerback taken by the Cleveland Browns. And at pick 27 of the first round of the 2021 NFL Draft, the Baltimore Ravens selected Rashad Bateman, wide receiver out of Minnesota. And Rashad Bateman was high on a lot of people's boards coming into this thing. He was being touted anywhere up in the top 3 by a lot of fantasy analysts.
That he was.
And
but you know what?
I can't say that I blame him, but going to the Ravens.
You know what now? Rest in peace. Rest in peace, Rashad Bateman, because ain't nobody want to touch you.
Man.
Not when you're getting balls from Lamar Jackson.
It is unfortunate. As much as I love Lamar Jackson, it's true. The wide receivers there
that sucks.
Look at Marquise Brown. He was supposed to be just a phenom this year, and didn't pan out. We saw them start to get a little more connection towards the end of the season, he and Lamar Jackson. So I don't know if they can maybe cater a little bit more of the offseason towards some of that throwing the ball, getting it to your receivers, your playmakers out there, then maybe we see a little bit more. Maybe Rashad Bateman isn't as quite of a disappointment as some of us expect him to now be. I don't know.
I don't think so. I mean, I hear a lot of speculations about people saying, "Oh no, now they drafted Lamar, another wide receiver, and this is a sign that the coaching staff, they're going to start having him throw it a lot more." No, Lamar's not going to throw it a lot more. If Lamar sees a bunch of wide open green grass, he's going to do what Lamar does and run. And that sucks. And, even when you're in the red zone, 10, 15 yards out, if Lamar sees a bunch of green grass ahead of him, he's going to tuck it and run just like he always does. So, man, I mean, I've been bitten too many times already by wide receivers on the Ravens while Lamar's there, and it's never again.
Never again. Oh, Rashad Bateman, what could have been? All right, rounding out the first round, that was the last skill position player taken there. Defensive end, cornerback, defensive end, linebacker. We're all taken to finish out the first round of the draft. We'll probably be wrapping it up here before too long, but if we want to jump into the second round and maybe just pull out some guys that we see here that maybe stick out to you guys as we go through. I'll pass it over to Alex first and just see if there's anybody that you're particularly high on that was selected in the second round here, and let us know kind of who either you picked in the dynasty draft or who you had your eyes on or selected. If you want to look through the second round there, I can start. I've got one if you're not ready.
Oh, yeah, I'll let you take your guy there. Go ahead. Right. You can take him.
Well, Javonte Williams.
Oh.
Going to the Denver Broncos.
Tell us about him.
Definitely was an interesting pick as a Broncos fan. I don't think anybody really expected that with the teams that were up there, such as the Jets and the Dolphins, but the Broncos traded up and selected Javonte Williams. Melvin Gordon's only got one more year on his deal that he's got there, and I believe Royce Freeman is in the last year of his rookie deal. So Javonte Williams, absolute playmaker. Some people had him as their running back one coming into this draft. There was a few that had that, and I like him a lot. I think he's going to be a really good running back. I think this year it's going to be more of a committee sort of thing that you see between him and Melgo there in Denver. And but I think 2022 Javonte Williams is going to skyrocket, and that's where he's going to have most of his value.
I agree.
Yeah. So, Chance, Alex, one of you guys got?
Go ahead, Chance. Pick somebody.
All right. The person I'm going to pick is Harris Marshall.
Ooh.
Going to the Carolina Panthers.
I like that one.
Do you?
Just big dude, top end speed. I mean, he was at the same school as Jamar Chase and still, made a name for himself at LSU. So I think he's going to, they're saying he's going to possibly put out Robbie Anderson.
Yeah, he's reuniting there.
I'm jumbling my words here, but be more of an option than Robbie Anderson is here. And he's a big guy, big catch radius. I know he has some problems with drops in his career, but he gets that taken care of. He's a big guy, big window to throw it to when you throw at him. So I think he can make a huge difference and maybe help Sam Darnold make a name for himself.
We'll see who's proven right about Sam Darnold this season, Chance.
Yeah, I guess
if he shines without the Dementor.
Yes.
And with the weapons now in Carolina, or if you think he's just the next, who was it? who?
Oh, I said Carson Palmer was his
Carson Palmer. That's
ceiling.
Right.
Ceiling.
Oh.
That's right.
I don't know, Chance. I think Sam Darnold's going to want his buddy there. I don't think his buddy from his other team there. I don't think he wants old Robbie Anderson sitting on the bench. He's going to want Robbie out there.
It's true. Terrace Marshall reuniting with former offensive coordinator Joe Brady there. So I think there's something to be considered there. Mm-hmm. Joe Brady definitely likes Terrace Marshall a lot. So if anything, we see him as the number 3 wide receiver option.
They lost Curtis Samuel, so they had to have someone come in and fill a spot. They also did sign David Moore from the Seahawks, who he's had flashes in the past. So
he has. I think he quickly surpasses David Marshall. My opinion, but
David Moore.
David Moore. Yes. David Marshall. God, man. I'll tell you what.
You're combining the two now?
It's been a long week, boys.
Listen, Terrence Moore will defeat David Marshall.
It's going to be a battle for the ages.
Name rights are at stake. Oh, man. All right. My pick is going to be the 17th pick of the second round. Rondale Moore to the Arizona Cardinals here. If you don't know about Rondale Moore or haven't seen any videos of him, you need to go check him out because this guy...
Learn you some Rondale Moore.
Yeah, this guy is... He's only 5'7", 181 pounds, but he is he's about the biggest, smallest wide receiver I've ever seen. I mean, he is a monster. Guy can miss tackles. He can run you over. He can jump you. He can jump ball, high point balls. He's a pretty darn good receiver. I wasn't too excited to see him go to the Cardinals. Number one, because I'm a Seahawks fan and we're going to have to face him a couple times a year. And number two, it's just kind of, man, there's a lot of mouths to feed there in Arizona. And also, Kyler Murray is a running quarterback, kind of in the same vein as Lamar Jackson. If it's not there right off the bat, you typically see him tucking it in and running, trying to gain some yards. So it'll remain to be seen how much of Rondale Moore they get out of them. But, man, he's got all the talent in the world. I really wanted to see Rondale Moore go to the Green Bay Packers, but, it just didn't happen. But
not with Aaron Rodgers not going to be there.
Well, yeah, I guess if he won't be there, then, I guess he won't be there. But Rondale Moore, I definitely somebody I was keeping an eye on during the draft and has a chance to pop there in Arizona.
Absolutely. Honorable mention here in the second round, the New York Jets took wide receiver Elijah Moore with the second pick of the second round. Good receiver there. Got Zach Wilson, another weapon. And, again, no Adam Gase.
No Adam Gase. You have all the opportunity in the world now. No Adam Gase.
The world is your oyster, Elijah Moore. So...
Zach Wilson's secretly getting kind of a decent little trio of wide receivers now. They've got they signed Corey Davis in the offseason. Got Elijah Mitchell. Got Denzel Mims from last year.
Elijah Moore.
Elijah Moore. Oh my gosh.
I've got you switching.
Now you got me
names.
Switched up. Elijah Moore.
I actually blame Chance for all this.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, I started it. My bad, boys.
And then jumbling words.
Jamison Crowder is still there, but I doubt he'll stick around because he will count a lot against the cap if they hang on to him. So I think he won't be with the team for a lot longer. So
I believe they have to. Is it before June 1st?
It might be.
Have to get rid of him here before the hit hits their cap. Their cap hits the cap.
Before the hit hits.
Mm-hmm. Something like that. Well,
how much time do we have?
We're getting pretty close here. We should probably wrap this thing up. But if you've got any other honorable mentions out there, either you two, throw those out and cover them real quick. But we can maybe come back on another week and go through a few more as we see some maybe some off-season training camp developments, things like that.
Oh, man. Okay, Chance, you pick one. Doesn't have to be in the second. It can be in the third or the fourth, wherever you want, or fifth, or the rest of the draft.
One person I'm kind of interested about is Tutu Atwell.
Ooh, that was an interesting pick.
Old Tutu.
5'9", 155 pounds. He is your size, Ben.
Now
that is literally you, Ben.
Now we're talking.
That is you.
I can go play in the NFL, guys.
There's someone out there like you.
What's his 40 time? I might be able to get close to it. What's his? Probably not.
I think he's a 4.2 guy.
Never mind.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Just he's a quick guy. He's a run after catch kind of guy. So that someone almost like a Tyreek Hill where they're just going to throw him the ball short and let him do his thing. He could be used all over the field because you still got Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods, who's going to be seeing most of the targets, but this guy's going to be kind of running free while everyone else is paying attention to those two receivers. So he could be kind of a sneaky player to have a big year, or at least have some big games, I should say.
A lot of people didn't like that pick by the Rams there. They were kind of scratching their heads.
Didn't really make a lot of sense. I mean, they signed Deshaun Jackson. They still have Robert Woods. They have Cooper Kupp. They have Van Jefferson that they drafted in the third round or second round last year. Third round. So, yeah, it's just crowded now.
Yeah.
Trying to get Matthew Stafford. A lot of weapons.
I guess.
A lot of weapons.
A lot of weapons. He'll be an interesting one to watch there.
Mm-hmm. You got one? Oh, you want me to go? Okay,
yep,
I'll go.
Elijah Moore was my honorable mention.
Oh, okay. My honorable mention is going to be Michael Carter, drafted by the New York Jets. They're in the 4th.
Look at all these Jets.
Yeah, all these Jets.
Get Adam Gase out of the
He's
picture.
gone. And look at everybody wants a Jet. But Michael Carter played for North Carolina, was running behind Javonte Williams, but he actually produced just about as much in the stat columns as Javonte did. And he's a smaller back. He's 5'8", 201 pounds, but he's kind of a shiftier back. And the reason I make him an honorable mention is just, I mean, there's not a lot of competition there in New York for running back.
Don't you dare besmirch Lamical Pirine like that.
I think Carter's got a clear path to take number 1 carries and be the featured back. And also, you got Robert Saleh there coming from San Francisco. Kind of has an idea of how, oh my gosh.
Kyle Shanahan
shenanigans. Kyle Shenanigans ran the running back show and his outside run scheme. And I think Michael Carter is built just for that. So I think he could be pretty useful right in year 1.
No, I like that. I like that a lot. We'll see if the Jets can turn things around. They had themselves a pretty decent draft here and, again, got rid of the Dementor. So, I'm not necessarily a big New York Jets fan, but for you New York Jets fans out there, I hope for your sake that you see the turn of the tides for your organization here.
You might see a light at the end of the tunnel.
Maybe a little bit. A
glimmer of hope.
But anyway, that'll do it for our
As Harvey Dent once said, the night is always darkest before the dawn.
That's right. He also said you either die the hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
What did Adam Gase become? Was he the hero at any point?
No. He was a pretender.
He wasn't what New York needed.
He was
or what they deserved.
He was neither at all. Man, I love when we just turn a show into just talking about how bad Adam Gase was for fantasy and for NFL teams.
If you can get a Harvey Dent quote in, you're winning.
100%. Anyway, that'll do it for our conversation on the NFL draft there. Got through first round, some second round picks, and some honorable mentions. Not exactly sure when we'll be back with you guys. Still working out scheduling stuff. When work clears up for me here in the next couple weeks.
Spring's a terrible time of the year for you. Your schedule's gone to hell.
It does every spring. So here in a couple weeks, I'll not have work. We got summer vacation, so I'll be more open and hopefully available to start recording a little more regularly. And let's face it, it's just kind of a dead time.
It is.
In the NFL offseason right now. Chance is just sitting around picking his nose, waiting for NFL news to just pop, and it's
pretty much.
It's a lot of picking.
It's a sad state of affairs.
A lot of picking.
There is a lot of dynasty drafts being done right now. A lot of dynasty rookie drafts. A lot of startups being done.
This is about startup season time. So.
About that time of the year. So if you're not into dynasty, I highly recommend you find yourself some buddies that want to start up some a dynasty league, and man, those dynasty startup drafts are fun. They're an absolute blast, knowing that you're going to get to keep all the players for potentially their career.
However long you want.
And going through there, deciding whether you want to trade rookie picks, or you could draft where rookie picks for the next year for the upcoming rookie draft are included in your startup draft. That's a fun format to play. I don't know if you guys have done any drafts that way, but that's interesting when you start seeing the rookie 101 going ahead of certain guys. But anyway, get out there, play some fantasy, play some dynasty.
Yeah, play it. Just play it.
Enjoy yourselves. And Chance, we're going to be working on getting you a microphone here, and you can come down and be with us in person.
Yeah.
Sounds good, bud.
Yeah, it's going to be a good time. That'll do it for the Fantasy Chairman today. Alex, have a good day.
Yes, and to you as well, my friends.
Thank you.
And all you listeners, have a sultry Sunday.
And thank you for listening to the Fantasy Chairman podcast. You can find us on social media at Chairman Fantasy, at Fantasy Chairman Pod on Instagram. FantasyChairman.com is the website.
Download us on all your podcasts, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spreaker, Spotify, anywhere that you can get a podcast.
That's right. Chance, let the people know as we go out on the outro here just how you feel about them.
I love all you guys. Just thank you for listening to our show.
Well done. Well done. We'll see you guys next time. Goodbye. Hey, Alex.
What?
So when you're on a boat and you're on like a rocky ocean, and you're drifting out to sea, what's the best way to keep your boat like sturdy and just staying still?
Oars?
No, not even close. You throw out your anchor.
Oh, your anchor. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
You throw out your anchor. You know what I like to do to keep my podcast steady and just sturdy while everything else seems to be rocky and wavy around me?
Not oars, right?
Not oars. It's Anchor again.
Oh, okay.
That's right. Anchor.fm. Let me explain. This app is free, completely free to host your podcast on.
Like 100% free?
100% free. And you get unlimited storage for all your episodes.
Unlimited?
Unlimited.
Unlimited.
As Russell Wilson would say.
Yes.
That's right. It's also got creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer.
Well, I'm all about that.
I know. And it also distributes your podcast for you, so it can be heard on the likes of Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, all of them.
What's not to like?
It's great. You can even make money from your podcast, Alex.
And we're all about that.
And you don't need minimum listenership. So,
that's good.
That's a real good thing. It's everything you need to make a podcast all in one place. You need to download the free Anchor app today or go to anchor.fm to get started.
I'm getting right on it right now.
Keep your boat and your podcast sturdy.